Oh, guys, just 1 second. I'm catching a Pokemon. Ah, he got away. You guys playing Pokemon Go? Come on, if you're not, why not? Everyone's playing Pokemon Go. But I'm not going to make a video on Pokemon Go. That's kind of boring. But I'm going to shut the thing off. Guys, it's been a long time since we've made a video, and I thought I'd make another one. Well, where have I been? I've been camping, I've been out of town, doing 4th of July stuff, doing other stuff, just away from my computer, and haven't had a chance to make a video. When I got back in town from camping, there was something on my door. Hey, package! Always like when packages come in the mail. What is it? Let's see. Throw that over there. It is VR cover. Sweet. What's VR cover? Well, let me tell you the story. I was, well, after I got my Vive, it's been, what, almost 2 months, maybe more now, probably 2.5. When did these things come out? I don't remember. It's been a while, and I got my Vive, and I played it a while, and then I had to show all my friends and family. So you let them play it, and then you realize that some people sweat a lot more than others. And they play the Vive, and then they hand it to you, and you put it on, and you're like, okay, maybe I don't want to play. So, you try to wipe it off, you try and clean it, but that foam that they use is just not great as far as, do I have an example? Where's the foam? Yeah, this. It's not good. It's comfortable, that's for sure, but it's thick, and it's absorbent, and, it's foam, so it's going to break down over time. So I got to have a solution. So I went online and just did some searching to see if anybody had something for the Vive. And there are a couple options, but I came across the VR cover. Now the VR cover, when I went to buy it, was back ordered by like 90 days. And I'm like, I can't wait that long. So I just gave up and I said, oh, well, I'll try and make something my own, sew it or whatever. So anyway, the very next day, literally the very next day, Matt from VR Cover emails me and he says, I saw you make YouTube channels or YouTube videos on virtual reality games. Would you like me to send you a VR cover, and you can give it a review or just use it? I'm like, sure, that's awesome. I was probably gonna buy one anyway, but if you want to send me one for free, sweet, let's do it. So he said he was gonna send me one, and then he didn't send me one, and I was like, oh, bummer, it didn't come. Maybe he had other things or whatever. And it turned out they were so busy because they were the only ones on the market, and they just got inundated with purchase requests. So of course, yeah, go for the money where the money is. And but then they started getting some mixed reviews, and I think it's because they were very early adopters. They had just tried to get something out as fast as possible because there was a great need for it, but they didn't have a lot of chance to test it and kind of figure out the best way to do it. So they got some mixed reviews, and then they've taken that, which is a good thing. They've taken those mixed reviews and modified their product and come out with something, to meet the demand and also the request of the users. They said make it thinner, make it less absorbent, whatever the different reviews had. Although many of the reviews are like, it's too difficult to install. And I've actually opened this up already just to see what was in there and installed one, and it's not that hard. There's even a YouTube video that they made on how to install it. So if you're reviewing this product and saying it's too hard to install, it might not be the product that's the problem, if you know what I mean. It's not that bad. So I'm going to open this up. I'll give it a review. Just a caveat, I did receive this free of charge, but no promises to give it a good review or anything like that. So here we go. What's in the box? It's got this cool case. I don't think you get this case. I think this is kind of their promotional material that they sent out to YouTubers. But inside I've got 3 baggies here. And I think you do get these when you order. It basically comes in a little bag. And in each bag, you're going to find 2 VR covers. And you can either buy this kind of cloth material. I don't know, it's hard to describe the material, but it's just a cloth, a very thin cloth. And then the other one that you can buy is more of a leather material. It's almost like a leather couch, but a little softer. I don't know, it's a pretty nice material there. And one of the coolest things about this that Matt did for me was, look at that, guys. Sweet! They embroidered my name on it. I don't know if that's an option for the general public or not, but that is really cool. And so you do that. Now to install it, you don't take off the foam. Basically, you leave the foam attached, and then you kind of wrap this around the foam, and then you tuck these little tabs underneath in between the Velcro of your VR. And I can show that installed. I have my actual headset here. And so this is the leather one, fully installed. So you can see it's just wraps around there. My name's right there. So what's cool is when you're playing, look, your name just kind of appears right there. Oh, it's beautiful. So that's that. They have those two options, the cloth material and then the leather one. And what's great about these is they don't necessarily like stop you from sweating. You know, of course they're not going to do that. But what they do is they either absorb the sweat or they keep it from going into that foam. And then when you're done, if it's really wet or sweaty, you just peel it off, put the second one on, and then throw the other one in the washer or wipe it off in the case of the leather. Like this leather stuff, just take any kind of wipe and just, you know, clean it off. It works great. If you're really concerned, use an alcoholic wipe or something. Especially if you're doing like a large-scale demo to a bunch of people and you don't want them passing germs on and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, they're really cool. So he gave me quite a few of these, the leather option, the cloth option. And then they have a new product. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. That he just sent me as well. Now this is a complete foam replacement. So you take the foam completely off, and it already has the leather installed. So that may help a few of you that said it was too difficult to install. Let me get this out of its big. It comes in a lot bigger baggie here. But again, you get two of them, and you can see they're very thin, much thinner than the standard foam. Where did I put it? The standard foam that the HTC comes with. There you go. Much thinner. And it's made of a leather material. Well, not quite. I don't know. It's kind of plushy. But you know, it's much thinner, which could increase your field of view. You know, a lot of complaints are that the foam is so thick that if you take it off, if you can stand putting plastic against your face, that you increase your field of view. So I'm thinking having a thinner version like this will be really nice for that. And comfort level, it's just as comfortable as the foam, if not better. And it's just detaches, and you can just wipe it off since it's not that AccuFoam foam material. So really cool. You got these three options to choose from. I think this one is like the $19.99 for two of them, and I think both of these options, I think, are $29.99 for two. But yeah, I think it's pretty worth it. If you sweat at all or want to play with your friends and they don't want to get sweat all over them, or you don't get their sweat all over you, very handy to have. Now, let's talk about actual gameplay. So I put this one on. This is the leather cover, and I played some hover junkers for about an hour. And I purposely had all the recording lights that I have on, so it heats up this room crazily. And I sweat a lot. That was the goal, was to try and get as much moisture, sweat, heat as possible and see how it performed. And I can tell you that the sweat just beat it up on the leather. You know, I could see actual water on the leather here. And I could just, once I was done, I just peeled it off, wiped it off with just a rag, and it couldn't even tell. You know, the next person could have easily worn it and not even known that I was sweating like a pig. So in that sense, yes, it works really well on the sweat protection or moisture protection. What other side effect, though, that happened with this one at least was the leather kind of heated up, and because it's this kind of leather, the material it is, it kind of almost sticks to your face. So I had like a red mark all around my face like this. Maybe I'll show a picture of it. But it was kind of unsightly. So I don't know about playing with this one for a long play session where you're getting pretty sweaty is very good, because it does leave that mark. Maybe I just had the headset strapped a little bit too tight, because obviously it adds a little bit of thickness, not much, you know, but it could have affected that. So I'm going to go give this new one a try and see how it is. So I think I should be able to, let me see if I can do it. This just peels off, right? It's really easy. And then we just take this new one, center it in there, and voila! Couldn't be any more easy than that. You can see it's on. I'm going to go ahead and put it on here and just see how the comfort level is. Okay, so here's my first observations. It's much thinner than the foam. I actually need to make these a little bit tighter to have this tighter on my face. So that's great. The closer you can get to the lenses, the better for field of view. Comfort level, it actually feels better than the foam. I like it. It holds to my face pretty well. None of the hard plastic is touching my face. And it's good. So I think this is a win, guys. It's a pretty good, easy to install, very comfortable, very thin, and it's going to be a lot easier to clean than your foam pads. I think it's also cheaper if you compare it to what ACC is selling replacement foam pads for. So if you do, use these so much that they, get a hole in them or get wet or the fabric tears or something, you just go buy a new one and it's going to be, what, $15 for one, $30 for two, rather than whatever ACC is selling them for. So it's a win in all books, I think, for this replacement foam pad. I think that one's the best option of the three. This one was really good, but it did leave that red mark on my face, and this one I haven't had enough time to properly test. Maybe I'll do that and report on it. I think that's all I wanted to say. Again, thanks to Matt for sending these to me. Oh, he also sent me this. It's basically a t-shirt with a ton of Vive and, well, just VR peripherals in general. There's both some Vive and some Oculus stuff on there. So thanks for the t-shirt as well, Matt. And for the embroidering my name on there and for all the free hookups. So yeah, if you guys, just vrcover.com if you want to go check them out. You can go review them on different websites to see what other people have to say about them. But I'm all positive. I don't think there's too many drawbacks. So definitely a necessity if you play with people that sweat a lot. Alright guys, I'm going to do a lot more VR videos in the future coming up. I've bought a lot of new games on the Steam summer sale, so look for more VR content on my channel. If you want to see it, definitely subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like VR covers, and I'll see you guys next time. Catch you later. Bye.